This message is brought to you by Spirion. The data privacy revolution is the new age of protecting what matters most. Automatically and persistently discover and classify sensitive data with the most accurate solution on the planet. Understand the data within the context of your business and then take actions to control that data so you can operate with minimal friction and comply with the laws and regulations built to protect the personal data privacy of individuals across the globe. This is Spirion, protecting what matters most. Visit them on the web at securityweekly.com/Spirion. The question is simple. Have any of the systems on my network been compromised? The answer is harder than it should be. Enter AI Hunter. Active Countermeasures has automated and streamlined techniques used by the best pen testers and threat hunters in the industry to create AI Hunter, a network threat hunting solution that does the first pass of a hunt for you to identify systems that are most likely to be compromised and scores the results on a scale from 0 to 100. You can then research those systems in depth with AI Hunter. Focus your valuable time on the systems that need your expertise with AI Hunter. Sign up for a personal demo today at securityweekly.com/ACM.
Welcome back, everyone, to Paul's Security Weekly. Quick announcement. Basically, lots of things are canceled. Secure World Boston was scheduled for March 25th through the 26th at the Heinz Convention Center. The event has been postponed until further notice. I would say expect probably a lot more of that. Bia? Can I call you Bia? Is that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's fine.
Bia is here with us. She is a 13-year-old hacker and maker, as well as an international speaker. All at 13 years old, an international speaker at security conferences. She received national attention when she hacked the voting reporting system at DEF CON 26. This work was recently highlighted at the U.S. congressional hearing on election security. She built a CTF for the DEF CON Blue Team Village that remains unsolved and flags for numerous CTFs, including the Global Cyber Olympics. And you also, did you start the Girls Who Hack? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
And you started an organization called Girls Who Hack.
Yeah, I did.
And
Girls Who Hack.
you're 13.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted just explaining what you've done so far.
That's just the warm-up.
Albie, it's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And again, I'm super impressed because by 13, I was just making sure that I got good grades in school, and that was my struggle. And I wasn't even making good. I was trying. That's my point.
I have a 12-year-old. The same thing. She does really well at karate. She does great in her grades, but YouTube is like a thing.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah.
How old's your oldest son, Paul?
He's 11, almost 12.
Yeah, too young. Sorry.
Yes. Yes. So, Bea, it's nice to have you on the show. What got you interested in computer security?
Well, when I started off in kindergarten, first grade, I started off with Scratch programming. So I did the Scratch adventure book, helped Scratch save the world with his owner. And after that...
Well, wait, is that something you did on your own, or was that something through school or something? Your mom and dad, wave hi, mom and dad, hi. Was that something your parents encouraged you to do, or where did the influence come from?
Well, my dad used to do AV and programming, sound, lighting. So he's like, hey, maybe my daughter would like this stuff too. So he bought the Scratch Adventure book, and we started at home. My school didn't have a Code Academy for kindergarteners. The first time I had an actual class on computer anything was starting in 3rd grade, and we learned how to use Paint. Ooh, Paint. And that's pretty much the extent of it.
She could probably teach us a thing or two about Paint.
And Scratch, probably, too. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so how are you engaged with technology and hacking after 3rd grade? That sounds so weird after 3rd grade.
Well, hacking at B-Sides, I'm not sure what year. I think I was 11. No, 10, 11, I think 10, yeah. I did
Final
my
answer?
first...
10?
Yeah, 10.
Okay.
I did my first talk. It was on crypto at B-Sides, Delaware. And
Whoa, wait. You were 10 years old and you did a talk on crypto.
yeah.
I still don't understand crypto. That's not fair. So
Yes, it is.
what was your talk on crypto? What was the kind of gist of it?
Well, mostly I explained what it is, like different things like the Pigpen cipher, hex, all of those things. Then I put a puzzle up and had the kids try to solve it. a lot of people were using their phones. I'm like, try it with pen and paper and not cheat.
Wow, you sound like Jeff. And this
my
was a puzzle
protege.
that you created.
Yeah.
Wow,
All
that's
the
awesome.
puzzles, I just like, let me think of a fun sentence. Oh, code ninjas are awesome. Trevor forget. You know, all those fun things. And then I had the kids solve it. Pigpen is still my favorite. Mostly because I like pigs because they're cute.
I get that. So how did you gain interest in hacking the vote and hacking voting machines?
Well, that happened at my first or second DEF CON. I don't know, I'm getting old.
How many DEF CONs? She's 13. How many DEF CONs have you been to?
3.
3. Wow.
I keep track of them by my hair. My first year was pink hair at DEF CON 25. DEF CON 26 was blue hair. And DEF CON 27 was purple. So
See, when you get old, I'm
color-coded.
bald for most of the
Have
DEF CONs
hair.
I've been to that I can remember.
Don't have hair.
Yeah,
more hair than my dad.
it doesn't work well for us.
So DEF CON 28 will be a secret, or
Or are you going to do the big reveal?
I'm thinking of doing orange, depending if DEF CON happens,
Right.
which probably will happen, but with this virus.
Hopefully, I'm
It's on-
hoping it's cleared up by Black Hat.
they're on the watch list for it.
Yeah,
They're doing their due diligence currently.
right. I'm hoping it happens, but. So it was your first DEF CON that you got involved with the voting?
I'm pretty sure, yes. They held a mock election reporting system for us kids to try to hack. And it was easy. We got to use SQL injection, pamphlet, 2 seconds, change the vote. And you would think it's rigged for kids, but they didn't rig it. They just made a normal one, just like the one in Iowa, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, after the interviews,
Oh wait,
during that,
when did you pick up SQL injection along the way? 'Cause the last I checked, they didn't teach that in schools.
SQL injection, the first time I started with SQL injection was in just during that voting thing. I never heard of SQL injection, but 2 pages in the pamphlet, I'm like, okay, I get this. And that inspired me to also do all of my classes on SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and all of the OWASP top 10.
Well, in case you didn't notice, Bia has a future in this field. That's outstanding. Now wait, how did you meet Jeff? Did you meet him at DEF CON or?
I think we met at DEF CON, right?
I think we did, and then we were both international speakers because we were both at DEF Camp last fall.
And where was DEF Camp?
Romania.
Oh, I remember Jeff telling me
Yep.
about that.
Yeah, I did my election talk there.
Yep. It was
That's-
very cool.
Nice.
That's outstanding. So you were at your first DEF CON. You realized that SQL injection for you was very easy, and that led you to hacking the vote. And then so you obviously moved on to looking into voting hacking. How did that progress?
After the election thing, Congresswoman Mickey Sherrill of New Jersey invited me to go to a congressional hearing on election security. So I got to go to that, meet her, see the hearing live, which was really cool. And after that, I'm like, our election system is, no offense, of course, not good, to put it nicely. So I'm like, why not make my own election system? So that's how I started Secure Open Vote.
Wow. And so you designed the whole software system for secure open vote and are releasing it open source? Is that the
Yeah,
idea?
open source for sure. I was going to I'm starting with my reporting system because that's what I got to hack at the first DEF CON. And the reporting system, I was going to prepare it and do it for Whopper Summit, but that got postponed because of the virus.
I'm gonna miss you at Whopper Summit too.
Yeah.
Sad day.
What was Whopper? What is Whopper like?
Do you
an
know what
homage
the Whopper is?
to War Games? Is it homage
Yeah,
to
yeah.
War
War
Games?
games,
Yeah.
yeah, some war games.
Some old movie.
Some of them.
Just some old movie.
Have you watched War Games?
Not yet. My mom and dad are like, you're not old enough.
She's only 13. It's PG-13 probably. I don't know what it was.
I don't know what they're.
To the internet, my good
PG-13
man.
back
To
then,
the
it might be
internet.
really bad.
Have you watched Hackers and Sneakers?
I started to watch Hackers. My mom came in the room and she's like, too much cursing. I got the whole pool on the roof joke. But after that, I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
You've pretty much seen the best part of Hackers.
Did you see the pool on the roof had a leak? That's like a...
Yeah, I had a leak in it,
okay.
and then all the nerds on the top of the roof
Yes.
just by themselves.
Someone's going to have to edit that video for her so she can watch the rest of
Absolutely. Absolutely.
War Games is PG.
All right.
War Games is PG.
Add it to your list, Mom.
There you go.
Got that, Mom?
Not that we're trying to influence her at all. No.
And Tron is definitely PG as well.
Yep.
Because that's
The original, not the remake.
original, not the remake. Yes.
Yep, please.
it. Wait, there's a remake?
No, not really.
No, there's a
Tron Legacy is
soundtrack
not
that
a
goes along with the remake, and that's really all you need to know about is the soundtrack. Just
The soundtrack.
you don't have to watch the remake; just listen to the soundtrack
Okay.
while you're hacking into election systems, and designing your own secure election system. So, what went into the design? Like, how did you have you built it and released it, or is it something you're
Not yet. It's very recent. Just a couple months ago, I announced it at Def Camp, if you remember. And since then, I've tried to work on it a little bit, mostly trying to get a feel for it, get some ideas. And remember, guys, if you have any suggestions, or just email me on Secure Open Vote, bsilab.com, whichever you'd like. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll we can chat. If you have any suggestions on how to do it, if you know anyone, that would be helpful.
Can I suggest paper?
Yes,
Is it just,
it's going to have
is it
hand-marked
just
paper.
the software, or is it the entire process and the hardware as well?
If you want to make your own election system or just a voting machine or something, you have to do the entire system. You can't just make one little part of it. That's why we only have ES&S and Dominion as the two companies, not people, running this whole thing. So if you want to make an election system, you need to make it end-to-end. So that means
that's one of the big problems you see with the current election system?
yeah, because the VP of I think it was ES&S was convicted of software tampering and like all different bad things, and it's just your votes go over the internet, people, but at least we know how safe the internet is, right?
Completely.
The most secure thing
What
ever.
could possibly
What
go
could
wrong?
possibly go wrong?
Hey,
That's
Jinx.
That's why my election system is going to have hand-marked paper ballots, because no matter how secure you can make a system, it's always hackable, no matter what. So with the hand-marked paper ballots, it's printed out, and then a required risk-limiting audit, like required, you have to do it, and then compare it to the votes online. Like, the votes online could be hacked, but if you count the papers using, I forgot what it's called, but this scanner they use for candy bars, actually, like a Mars or a Snickers or whatever you like, it falls down and it scans it rapidly, right? And it blows a puff of air to the ones that are bad, and it falls down. So it'll scan it that way using one of those scanners. I don't know how I'm going to get my hands on a scanner, but
I was going to say, are you building this particular scanner, or?
we're not sure yet. Remember, suggestions, just...
I have a suggestion, and it's not election related, but I want you to actually make Wonka Vision.
What's that?
It's an inside joke for the old timers. You mentioned candy bars, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Willy
Factory.
Wonka. Have you
Oh.
seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Yeah,
Factory?
I've seen the original and then the remake. They're
Gotcha.
both good.
Yeah. Wonka Vision is the TV with the...
Oh, yeah, and the candy bar that shrinks, and
Yep.
then the boy that got shrunk, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still pissed we don't have a hoverboard, so let's start with the hoverboard.
Hoverboards don't even hover. They're on the ground. I don't know why they call it a hoverboard. Like, what's the point? It's just on the ground. It's just like, but you don't actually are above the ground. It just...
I agree.
Too bad you don't have opinions that you feel strongly about.
It's my pet peeve. People who think, ooh, it's a hoverboard. It's hovering. It's not even hovering. It's touching the ground.
You know, in Back to the Future Part 2, there was hoverboards.
They actually hovered.
That actually hovered.
They did hover.
Yes, they
It
did.
was CGI.
You can't hoverboard over water. You're gonna need more power. Wow. I can't believe I just said that.
We're just making small jokes because we're feeling so inadequate right now.
It's very. Jeff
No, I'm ready.
is-
I'm ready to retire. I think I'm gonna.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think I need to find a new profession.
Done. The next generation's here.
I-
They got it covered.
I have a somewhat serious question, although it's going to sound like a silly question. But for your paper ballots, how are you planning on people to mark them? Are they going to fill in a circle? Or are they going to punch a hole? Because there was this thing called the hanging Chad a few years ago. that
Well,
was a
they all
problem.
have their flaws, of course. The hole punching one sometimes it didn't punch all the way through,
Yep.
so it got just a little flappy thing. We're not really sure. Again, it's
Okay.
just the first few months of doing this, so all the suggestions just kind of piece it together. You need to make the whole system.
Should I be investing in companies that make number 2 pencils?
It's a good question.
Yes, Jeff. The entire market is down right now.
Yeah,
You should
should be
invest in
buying.
anything.
You should be investing.
I should be investing in everything
Buy low,
with
sell
what little
high.
I have left.
Now, have you
So
worked
are-
on the software side of it yet? Have you started prototyping software for it?
A little. I know I'm running the reporting system in Docker, of course.
Hooray.
Try
Course.
not
Right,
to
Jeff?
do no back doors that are able to be tampered with during the election, because some machines had back doors and all different fun things. Constant software patches, of course. Updating recently, just secure everything I can, instead of just patching it on at the end, just making it look shiny and pretty.
See, this is the new technology. We're patching and installing updates as we go.
Yep.
It's awesome. Are those gummy bear earrings? Is that?
Yep, they're gummy bears.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
So have you had an opportunity to talk to and start working with or speaking to some of the voting machine manufacturers or software vendors?
Not yet, because again, like I said 100 times, it's pretty new, so not many people know about it. So thank God to this, so I can be like, hey, look up Secure Open Vote, trying to
Awesome.
get
We
the
should
word
get you in
out
front
there.
of them.
So you haven't been doing this very long, and you've kind of got other competing things, like some of your other websites and Girls Who Hack.
And my normal school life,
school.
and then all my hobbies.
And in what we heard, fencing and all sorts of.
Yeah,
probably-
what do you?
You
yeah.
probably have a bedtime too, don't you?
9:30, but I usually stay up reading till 10:30.
Go to bed earlier and read more.
I mean, I would never do that.
Of course not.
She's reading coding books, so it's okay.
Yeah. What is your bedtime read? What are you reading?
I read Harry Potter. Now I'm on Lord of the Rings.
Excellent.
That's good.
Do you actually read the book or do you listen to them?
No, I read the book.
Paul.
What's wrong with listening? I like listening to books rather than
Are you reading book
and they poke
books or
fun at me for
e-reader?
some reason. I
I
don't
like
know.
reading because I can imagine the different voices and pretend that some of the characters are girls. Because back then, girls weren't main characters who fought and stuff.
This is true.
This is true.
Lee had a question in there, and he's kind of.
So you're using an e-reader or using a physical book?
Physical book. I think I have
Awesome.
one of the older copies. I know the pages are kind of yellow and stuff, so I know it's old and
Was it Dad's or Mom's copy?
mom's copy. It came with this box that's gold and stuff. I think it's one of the old-fashioned ones. Obviously not the original, but one of the first kind of ones. Fancy. Lots of duct tape on that thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you were coding in Scratch. Are there other languages that you are learning, and which ones do you want to learn?
I'm doing Scratch currently. I did Scratch. I've done classes on Scratch. Python. I kind of know Python. Haven't done it in a while. I'm rusty. Arduino. I know some web design languages because for Secure Open Vote, I kind of need to know that stuff. It's pretty easy. Learned about it on Code Academy recently. I like Code Academy. That's what I use to learn
Nice.
stuff. So,
So like JavaScript hates me, and I don't really like it much either. But
I haven't done JavaScript yet. I've
future.
done, I don't know, I think it's HTML. I don't know, I confuse the different
they're all
web design
bundled
language.
into
Yeah,
one web
it's
design
all
thing.
like one thing. And
Yeah, in CSS and all that. I mean, you should learn it. I don't. Python. I like Python way better.
Python's the best. It's so easy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me about Girls Who Code.
Girls who hack.
Girls Who Hack. Sorry.
Girls Who
Completely
Code
Girls Who
is
Code is something different. It is a
yeah,
thing.
it's different. It is a thing. It's super cool. I volunteered there once or twice. So check that out too if you're into coding. But if you want to start hacking, check out Girls Who Hack. Their motto is teaching girls the skills of hacking so that they can change the future. I started Girls Who Hack because a lot of girls want to start in cybersecurity, but they don't know where to start. Like when I started, I Googled it, Wikipedia, those things, but it's still confusing because it's like an endless loophole of reading one thing and then, oh, wait, click, reading another, and then it's just like a loophole of different words I don't understand. So I'm providing online and physical classes. I've done physical classes, like I said, on the OWASP Top 10. I've done only the first two, which are SQL injection, of course, and cross-site scripting. But
Where do you hold the actual in-person physical classes?
usually conferences. I've done it at a bunch of B-sides. Recently, I've done it with Cyber Jitsu Girls, which is also really cool. Check that out, too.
They are awesome. They've been on the show before, yes.
I went over there to Virginia, and I did a class there. That's where I met my friend Angel, who's watching this. Hi.
Hi, Angel.
Hi, Angel.
And after I taught there, I want to do online, but YouTube has these new rules where if I make a video, kids my age can't see a video that I made because I'm their age, but adults can see it, but it's just so many complicated, weird things.
That's one point we very much agree on is that YouTube sucks, right?
YouTube sucks.
Yeah.
So I need to find some kind of other place to put my videos. We need to figure out how I'm actually going to record the videos, how they're going to see my slides and me. I need to figure out all those things before I do it. I think by the end of this month I should have my first video done. Again, I was going to teach a class at Whopper Summit on the building a home.
Where was Whopper Summit being held?
Pennsylvania.
Where's Whopper?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Tyler said Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this year, Pennsylvania, I think. Yeah. I was going to do a class there. Now it's postponed. Maybe it won't even happen at all. So I'm doing online, building a home lab class, and then, again, SQL injection, cross-site scripting. My home lab class, I was making them make a virtual machine, and then they had to install a lamp stack and do all these steps and so much typing and then so many errors that I'm just like, why not just switch to Docker, you know? So I'm going to redo that class, but in Docker, because the kids want to get to hacking. I mean, building virtual machines and all is obviously fun and easy, but still, Docker.
I think I need to take this class. I'm serious.
I might
You guys remember
to.
the old show, The Flintstones, where something would happen and Fred would like shrink and get smaller in his chair? I feel like we're all doing that right
Yes,
now.
pretty much. Pretty much.
Like,
I like the
I'm
Flintstones.
still
Their
trying.
little car.
Still trying
it
to figure out
rolls.
Docker. So what?
take your course.
Right. What advice do you have to those that want to get into the field? How should they approach getting into the field of information security?
Just start. I mean, at first I was scared. I'm still kind of scared because it's all big field. You're going into cybersecurity thinking, oh, I'm just going to learn how to hack and that's it. But no, it's a whole thing with networking and packets and then SQL injection and so many things. So mostly test a little bit of all of it. CTFs are a good way to start, going to conferences, meeting people, Googling things. At CTFs, you kind of get a dip of all different, fields in cybersecurity. And then after you do that and test everything out, you find your true passion in one of those things and just focus on it and be the best that you can be.
Now, have you developed a CTF? A challenge of some kind? You've done challenges, right?
Yeah, I made the my first CTF and only CTF. Wait, I've made CTF flags. The first CTF, just my own CTF, I called it the Clown Co-op Corporation Inc. They make
This sounds like a CTF John Strand should do.
Yes, he loves clowns.
Maybe Kennedy would like it too.
Yeah.
they sell clown wigs. I built a network.
Yes.
They have to get into the network by cracking a password. I didn't add flaws to it, but I also didn't make it secure. I just built a network. I put it in the Blue Team Village at DEF CON. People have tried, but no one got in. It's not even secure, and it has no flaws. It's just a normal network, and no one got in. So I'm pretty surprised about that. Now I can just keep reusing it places until someone actually gets it. Some of the flags I've made a flag for, dang it, I can't think of the name right now. Cyber Olympics.
Cyber Olympics.
Yeah, I made a flag for the
Nice.
Cyber Olympics.
What are the Cyber Olympics?
It's mostly like a giant CTF, almost like the Olympics for hackers. You have different teams from different places. The Maple Leafs, which I love that name, from Canada, were the first team, and I think, no, not the only ones, maybe the only ones to get my flag. I made it super confusing on purpose, of course. So I had my avatar picture, right? And they opened it up. They had to zoom into the far corner, and there, since everything's little pixels, I wrote out in pixels, not words. You had to look at the numbers, right, that go this way. And then due to the letters of the alphabet, they align with the numbers, and then you need to decode that, and then that leads you to an audio file. You need to listen to the audio file, but then behind that, there is hidden Morse code, and it's just a giant maze of things, and then behind it, just all enveloped in
You
there.
basically created your own series of ciphers for people to try and figure out.
Yeah, and that was my flag, so it was fun.
That's pretty awesome.
It's amazing. I have a question for you. We've talked a lot on various segments of our shows about how there's some need for people that are coming up in the industry today to learn the history of InfoSec and learn some of the fundamentals of, we were just talking about it earlier today, data security, information security. It's not necessarily the technical stuff. Is there a place for that in your world that people could come and teach that and keep your interest? No.
I've never really.
That face was, I don't want to listen to you old farts talk about old things in history. Okay.
I'm just going to go retire now.
No, but you may want to listen to us old farts talk about stuff
Well,
that
for
happened in the
example,
past. I'm just
do you know who used in history the Pigpen cipher?
No, who?
Oh.
This is Jeff's area of expertise. I actually don't even know the answer to this question. I'm actually curious myself. I'm also curious how the Pigpen cipher works as well, because I have not used it.
We can explain that to you later.
Please.
Or I'll
Yeah.
let Bia explain it
Yeah,
to you.
please
'cause
explain that
She'll
to
probably
me.
teach me nuances.
So,
of
Bia,
it.
explain to me the Pigpen cipher, and then after that, Jeff explained the whole history behind it.
Okay, so the Pigpen cipher is, I don't know, it's like almost like picture, right? It's different, either like a V shape with a dot in it or no dot in it in each direction, or the same thing but with a square and then a dot. And then it goes through the alphabet, like each shape
Is
has
a-
A, B, C, D,
gotcha.
E, F, G. So it's all almost like picture to text
It's
cipher.
like a transposition type cipher.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, it's technically a substitution. cipher.
Substitution. There you go.
substitution, yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Former cryptanalyst.
Well, think like the tic-tac-toe square,
Yeah,
and then put letters in each one,
gotcha.
and then imagine it's 9, unique characters. So the top left, imagine just drawing the top left corner. That's one character, and then repeat that with dots in each one. And so now you're drawing each character with a dot in it. So that's 9, 18, and then you do a triangle.
An X.
So you've got 4 more with and without dots. 4, 8, 9, 18 adds up to magically 26.
Ah.
If I did the math right.
And what was the first usage? Or
It was used very commonly back in colonial times, American Revolution times, by the Masons. And I did
Jeff was a part of the Masons in that time. Ironically,
I was. I helped him. I helped him figure it out. But if you Google search
What if I
Masons
land
and
you if I
Pigpen cipher and just go to images, I mean, there's famous Masons and not so famous Masons that are buried that have Pigpen ciphers on their tombstones. I mean, it was a very common
Field trip.
cipher language that was used, in the heyday of the Masons, which was in the formation of the country. So there's a tie-in to the founding fathers and Pigpen cipher and Masons.
that's really cool.
There you go.
Cool.
Also in Gravity Falls, which is a cool TV show, at the end of each episode they have a cipher in the credits. And then if you solve that cipher, you get a clue of what the next episode is going to be about. And I use that in my crypto talk. When I was looking it up, I'm like,
See, Jeff,
I
that's
didn't
way
know.
cooler than talking about history.
It is.
Just saying.
so they hid it in a kid's cartoon, and you wouldn't know it's there unless you watch the credits. But who watches credits? Other than my dad in the movie theater. I wonder who did the sound and lighting for this.
I can see that.
We are
I watched
just-
them in the
I'm ready to hang it up now, Paul.
the Marvel
let her
movies.
take over.
Maybe I watched the credits just to see if there's a teaser for the next movie.
Yeah, at the end.
At the end.
Does the phrase "drink more Ovaltine" mean anything to you?
Yes.
Ovaltine?
No.
No.
I'm too young for this.
You are.
It's
You'll
only
put your
at
eye
Christmas
out,
time.
kid.
Only at Christmas time.
It's a Christmas story.
the movie?
The movie.
Christmas. There's a cipher. You should watch that movie
There's a
too.
cipher in it.
There's
Yeah,
a cipher.
I'm pretty sure it's PG rated, so you should be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
It's
no,
pretty rough.
there's the mouth washing out with soap scene, but it's on TV and they don't actually say the bad things and
No, they
They
don't.
don't. It's
Yeah.
all. It's.
about the worst is dad
There is a, but
yelling
it's
at
funny.
the Bumpus' dogs.
But there is a funny a cipher in there.
Yep, there's a
That's-
cipher
yeah.
in there. The movie National Treasure, which you're not old enough to watch, is fun in terms of the cipher and cryptography that's in there as well.
Excellent. So
So many things to look
Christmas
forward
Story is
to
rated
as soon as
PG,
you're old
guys.
enough.
Christmas Story is rated PG. Really?
Yeah.
Cool. So
It's on TV at the holidays,
Yeah.
so
So, Bia, tell a little bit more about Girls Who Hack. Who's your target audience? Folks your age or those old farts that can learn something from you two?
Mostly focused on middle school to high school girls. I mean, boys can take the courses too, but only girls get the free stickers. The boys have to pay up $2 a sticker.
Oh,
Fair enough.
They're
Is there an
online
age
too.
limit to the boys?
No, anyone. I've had adults come to my classes too. It's mostly focused on kids though. Adults can come if there are all the spots filled up by kids and there's spots left.
I
then
thought you'd
adults
say
can, like,
adults
sneak
can
in.
come if they're accompanied by their children. That's
They need,
No,
they need a
That's-
chaperone.
yeah.
yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
And so do you have regular meetings for Girls Who Hack, or is it like a mini event or larger? Like how's it
Not
work?
like an event yet because it's not big enough, but just mostly talks at conferences. Have T-shirts made at girlswhohack.com if you want to donate. If you want a T-shirt, we have T-shirts. We have all that fun stuff.
Do
We
the-
have stickers.
Do the T-shirts come in adult sizes?
The T-shirts do come in adult sizes. They
Okay.
come in every size. We get them made just like the one I'm wearing right now. The back of this says, "No time for Barbie. There is hacking to be done."
Oh,
I came up with that saying when I was in Romania one year.
I hope you trademarked it.
excellent.
I-
So,
It's
Mom,
I said
Dad?
it first, so
You're
so
good.
someone tries to copy
and it's
me.
on a T-shirt. Right at first publish. Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're good. We have. I can refer you to a lawyer. You'll be fine.
I don't know, Paul.
So-
Dot.
So,
Yes. That's why I have a really good lawyer on staff right now. To be honest with you.
So the donations, what are for Girls Who Hack? What are you doing with some of the donations currently, and how would they help?
The donations mostly for investing in equipment for all the classes and things, paying for all the like laptops and whatnot for the kids. All the things they're using during the class.
So they get to show up and everything's ready for them to have some expert education and they have the device that they can hack on while they're there, and then you guys get to reuse those class to class?
Yep.
Excellent.
As a younger person, certainly much younger than us, coming into the information security field, what's one thing that we can do to make that kind of entry point for you easier you and people like you into the field of information security?
Mostly just like my dad did to me, just kind of push me in it. If you have kids or your friends have kids, take them to conferences, give them to the kids track, and see if they like it or not, because not everyone likes computer security and doing these things, but it turns out middle school age is the age that kids decide what their passion is. At least that's what studies have shown. So that's why I mostly focus on middle school girls. I mean, high school girls
So you don't
too.
technically know what your passion is yet.
No,
'Cause
I'm
you're
just trying
You're
everything.
just getting to that age.
Life is about searching, not finding.
There you go.
I think
Wisdom
the answer,
for you, Jeff.
I think the answer to her question, your question, is just get out of the way.
No, certainly BS. There's guidance, right? Take them to conferences, right? Which I was like, checkbox thing. I called my pseudo nephew and my son to a conference, but there wasn't a track for specifically targeted younger folks in that particular conference. So I think once we start back up with conferences, there should be tracks for, I think, geared towards younger people. We have so many events and conferences in this industry. I think having not just activities but actual tracks for children, I think would be not. I don't want to say children because that's the wrong way of putting it. For younger folks that want to get into our field is a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of conferences do have kids tracks. Those that don't, just take them, have them sit down next to you while you're doing CTF and kind of explain how things work. Take them to try to solder. Speaking of soldering,
Yes, I wanted to ask about this.
Yes.
I learned how to
about
solder a few months ago, or whatever. Like I am terrible.
I learned to
at
solder in
soldering.
first grade and kindergarten.
Did you use the soldering iron that looks like a pistol?
No, I used the one
Good.
you gave me. It was a really nice one that you had given me, and I had to fix my son's dirt bike that's electric that charges, and I fixed the cable for him, and I was really proud of myself, and he was really happy. So
soldering.
soldering
So I
is a good
started
skill.
soldering when I was, like I said, in kindergarten and first grade. I made for my first grade science project a solar-powered LED dollhouse, Polly Pocket house. You know, Polly Pockets. I feel so old because those aren't a thing
I have
anymore.
daughters.
Yep.
But
I have all boys, so I don't know Polly Pockets, but
Polly Pockets
They're
are
little
like just
teeny tiny dolls.
tiny little dolls.
okay.
My mom hated playing Polly Pockets with me because they're so tiny. She can't like get the clothes on them because they're just so tiny.
And surprisingly, if you have a quantity of them, they will clog a toilet.
Ah,
Ask me how I
good
know
to know.
this.
Good to know.
And after I made the dollhouse, I was in first grade. Then a boy in fifth grade also made a solar-powered, not dollhouse because it's a boy, but he made just a house, right? But mine also had batteries so that it worked at night, right? So they could party at night and party in the day. LEDs everywhere. His
Party all the time? Is that
Yeah, party
what
all
you
the
were
time.
Okay.
Party
we all wish we were Polly Pockets now. Just party
Party all the
nonstop.
time.
So they have little he had a card that you put in front of a light bulb and the lights turned off. But me, it worked while it was night too, so it was better. But guess who got first place?
The boy.
Oh,
The
not you.
boy.
Now, see, if I was investing, I'd invest in your technology way over his technology.
Exactly, and I soldered when I was in first grade. He did the same thing, not the exact same thing. Mine was better.
Inferior design.
But he did the same exact thing. He's a boy in fifth grade, and yet he still won. I don't get that, but, you know.
So now he's what, a senior in high school, maybe?
I don't know. I lost track of him. His
Junior
name
high
is
school?
Brian Smart. So, Brian Smart, if you're out there, I will get you one day.
Wow.
I think you
Oh
already
my.
have. I think
I
you
think
already
he
have.
just did.
So, after that, I made my own soldering kit. Because a lot of soldering kits, you start off, they're really hard. So, I made this. I've got to grab the little battery, too. this little soldering kit with Fluffy Make Glitter Sparkle, my logo. This is it with the light turned on. Oh, I put the battery in the wrong way.
No.
Dang it.
I hate it when I do that.
I'm not thinking right now. Okay, and then this is it when it's on. See?
Ooh.
Shiny, shiny.
Now wait, you made, so you ordered you designed your own kit basically. Right?
Yeah, I designed it with Mr. Blinky Bling. I met him at DEF CON one year, and we decided to make a soldering kit together. It's super easy. I know we didn't take pictures of this earlier, but it has little marks on the back with giant like circles that say this is the positive, this is the negative side. It shows what direction to solder things on. It's super duper easy.
So wait, you got soldering kits and you were like, that's too hard. I can make an easier one so that people can have an easier time learning soldering, and you came up with this. Can I see that?
Yeah, of course, here.
This is
Old man, put your glasses on.
I had to put my glasses on. This is awesome.
These
Some of
LEDs
it-
are dimmer
Some of us are old enough. We have to wear them all the time.
than the last ones.
Progressive
Also, they're,
lens.
And is that
they're
like
sold on
Hello
BSI
Kitty?
Lab.
Is it like
No, it's Fluffy McGlitter Sparkle. It's my logo.
Fluffy McGlitter Sparkle?
See, it's on my sticker right here. BSI Lab sticker. See?
You already have your own logo.
Really, Paul?
And your own soldering kit.
You could have
That's awesome.
stickers too, Paul, but you have to pay for them because you're a boy.
So,
I absolutely.
And she's
Oh,
really
actually,
follow
I already
her
gave you
stuff is on her
stickers. Look at your
website.
laptops.
Oh, you did. You stickered my lap. She already hacked me.
That's a BSI Lab one on that one, and a Girls Who Hack one on the other one.
Thank you. That's
All right,
awesome.
all right, so I want some stickers.
Awesome.
I want some
Hey.
stickers.
Thank you. That's
And-
fantastic.
I'll give you guys stickers
Wait,
afterwards.
do you sell these? Can we order?
Yeah, on bsilab.com,
Yep.
I sell soldering kits. They're $15, but there's also $15 more for shipping. But the shipping can go anywhere from nearby all the way to China, all the way to Italy, all the way across everywhere. So
15 in the U.S.
15 in the U.S.
15 in the U.S.
A voice
So
from somewhere
so
said.
I want some stickers, but I got to pay the boy tax because that's the way these things
You
work.
get a BSI Lab sticker for free, but the girls who
All
hack.
right, the girls who hack, I want some stickers, and I'm going to pay the boy tax, and I'm going to challenge all of our listeners to donate as well, because
I agree.
I'm going to click the button right now to donate to Girls to Hack, and I'm assuming that Dad's going to get the SMS that donations happened. And we'll let Dad tell us how much as soon as I get the text and I can log into PayPal. No, I'm not a robot. But I challenge all of our listeners to go and donate and match some of our donations.
Yep.
I'm not going to say this out loud because I'm smart.
3, 4. Your lips are moving now.
Yep.
Everybody, read his lips.
No.
We're just looking at his glasses reflection. That's all.
So while he was doing that, when I met Bia last fall, and got to know her a little bit in Romania,
right? You were in Romania.
Wait for the text, Dad.
my granddaughter's only like a year and a half younger than her. So I came home and was like, I need to take my granddaughter to hacker conferences, and I asked, the next one was coming up was B-Sides Nova, which was last weekend. And, I asked him about it, and like, we don't really have a kid track, but shoot, that's something we really should think about doing. So I think it's changing. But I did B-Sides Charm last year, and before I spoke, a guy came up to me and introduced me. He had his, he met me the day before, and he was with his daughter, and then the day of the talk, which was the second day, it was his son, or vice versa. I don't remember. I'm old. But the kid was like looking really bored and disinterested, and he's like, who's this old guy that's just going to tell stories? But after my talk, the guy tweeted and said, my son said that my talk was the best talk of the day. 'Cause I think I had asked him before the talk, what are you interested in doing? What's your passion? And he's like, well, programming. I don't like any of this hacker stuff. But after my talk, he's like, he's now thinking about becoming a hacker. Just to put a plug in for me that maybe there's a place for me to tell a story at one of your conferences or one of your sessions or classes someday.
Well, and I think all of us, I think that, the ability to share back to people in your generation kind of the history around security and hacking, I think it's important for you to hear that. And I wanted to also ask you, girls who hack, what is your definition of hacking, or what does it mean to be a hacker for you?
Well, there's good hackers and bad hackers. Most people get that confused because most people think, oh my god, hackers are bad. They're going to steal my credit card number and things like that. But there's white hat hackers and black hat hackers. You can either use the powers for good or bad. It's mostly like with anything. You can use anything to do good or bad, you know? So hacking is mostly just like computer security. It's breaking into things, either for good or for bad, to figure out things. It's just like a giant puzzle.
Don't lose sight of that. We have to keep the hacker spirit alive long
Yep.
after we're gone, right?
Yep.
It's awesome.
It's not a game; it's a puzzle.
That's right.
It's not a
puzzle,
game,
A
it's-
puzzle was the
it's-
keyword that you used, Bia. Yeah.
It's not a game, it's a lifestyle.
Well, I mean that. If you wear rollerblades and stuff, maybe listen to a lot of '90s
Wow.
EDM stuff.
Wow.
That's
Or
one
use a
lifestyle.
hoverboard.
Or use a hover,
That
which
was
doesn't
before EDM
hover.
was a thing.
So, I mean, dare I ask you, like, what's next for you?
Driving home.
We're driving home tomorrow because no
Okay,
way
cool.
am I going home tonight. We have a hotel. But what's next is mostly focusing on the class that I was supposed to do for Whopper Summit and trying to get it online. And secure open vote, and just continuing with those things, and then of course my own homeschool stuff.
So I'm going to toss a challenge to Paul, and maybe something that Paul can offer, or one of our other listeners can, because you mentioned that YouTube sucks, and
I second that.
yep. So Paul, are we doing some of our own video hosting, or is it all through another third party?
Today, it is hosted largely through YouTube. We do have the ability to do webcasts.
Okay.
But yeah, you're more than welcome to use our facilities remotely to record stuff. Absolutely. We can record the videos. We can broadcast them in webcasts. But if you need a place to host them, maybe Vimeo. I'm not sure what Vimeo's rules are for hosting them. Outside of that, maybe we can talk offline.
I was actually wondering.
There's Amazon AWS.
But I was going to throw out,
stuff too.
I hesitated to put it on the air, but might as well make it a challenge. But maybe Cybrary would be interested in hosting something like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what their platform is, but I think they
Right.
have their own.
Right.
I think so,
and
too.
I
Yeah.
think that's not just a call to us, but us as a community to help be able to find some place to host the videos where other middle school to high school kids can get access to
Yeah,
the content,
it's-
where the rules for other distribution
Right.
methods fail.
We're
because it's
working on
important.
that. The next evolution will be we're still going to post to YouTube, but we're not going to be reliant on it. We're going to have our own hosting in AWS to host our videos. So we're happy to help in any way we can.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Do you have a kid version of 5 questions? I'm curious.
Wait, no,
I don't.
Wait, Lee has
Lee.
another question.
Yep.
So I was just saying, are we calendaring to buy stickers? Are we trying to buy all the other stuff? And I
Or
actually
just
have no question on
open donation to help support the cause, Lee,
Buy all the
there's,
things.
there's stickers, there's T-shirts, and there's soldering kits, correct?
Yep.
and open donation.
And open donations.
Yep.
Yep. But Lee, no, you had another question about the science lab.
Yeah. Well, jeez.
Sorry, it was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. One of the questions I had beyond the, what got you into creating that kit was, you going to create another one? You going to raise the bar? But that wasn't the question I had a while ago. Damn it.
No, you said ask Bia about her science lab.
Yeah, I know.
You've talked about girls who hack. You've talked about the election thing. What's Bia's Scilab?
Most hackers have a hacker handle, and that's mine. I started Scilab like a while back, maybe when I was 11, I think. I started Scilab. Then when I started doing different projects in biology, I did Biolab. Then when I started hacking, I did Hack Lab. And when I started building robots, I did Bot Lab. So I have stickers for each of those, but I didn't bring them all today because we
That's a
need
lot
to
of
get more
stickers.
made.
It's a lot of stickers.
Very cool.
Bia, what do you have other activities that you do that or school or like other things? How do you manage your time? Because I need some tips on this.
Being homeschooled helps with managing my time because if I went to school, I'd be stuck in a classroom with a bunch of gross booger kids for 8 hours a day.
It's no place to learn. I agree. I actually agree with that. I do.
So I do all of my things online, but except for math. Math I do at the Phillips Academy. They're really cool. He's a former NASA engineer teaching me how to do math. So
Do you like math?
yeah, I love math. He has his own way that's not Common Core, because Common Core sucks.
Oh, thank God. I agree with you there, too. See, we agree on a lot of these
A lot
points.
of
Yeah,
things.
Common Core. I can't figure out my kids' math homework sometimes. I have to,
Really?
Google it. I'm like, I have no
Really?
idea.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the way Common Core math works is a lot about how I think about math, because I'm awful at math. But and now our 12-year-old is starting to do algebra, and it's like, yeah, I remember this, I think.
I spend more time on YouTube watching Common Core math than I think I do like
Right. I'm right there with you, Tyler.
And
Right.
depending on the Common Core program, you can get the Common Core teachers plans online for free. That's what I did when our oldest was in elementary school.
Good to
'Cause
know.
she forgot her homework one day, and it's this group, and I went and looked it up, and everything was available. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go teach myself math again.
So my math is pretty cool. It's not like most classroom environments. Of course, you're with other kids like my age, but they are. We're allowed to shout out in class. We don't have to raise our hand at all. We just give out answers, right? We are. We can do crazy things. My friend has a pet goat and brought her pet goat to math class. I once had a dream that a boy in my math class named Sam, he was a butterfly. So the next week he wore butterfly wings, and I got stickers made of him and gave them out to everyone. Another bird
That's
is
cool.
another girl
You're
is
still not
obsessed-
allowed to date him. Right,
Ew,
Mom
no.
and Dad?
No.
But stickers of him as
I
a
can do
butterfly,
better than
totally
that.
cool.
Okay.
I can do better than
Best
soon,
response ever.
that. Should be a sticker.
There's a girl named Hannah who's obsessed with birds. She brings binoculars to math class and looks out the window while also listening to the teacher talk about math. There's a girl named Ellie who had pet goat that she brought. There's a boy named Judah who always has this awesome haircut. There's a girl named Adeline who's like the most chill out of all of us and is just like shaking her head at us because she's like, you're just crazy. Then
And
my
you do learn math in this class,
Of course,
right?
of course.
Okay.
We learn math. It's every Friday, but we do Skype calls. It's just 2 hours every Friday, but in a year we learn what the other kids learn in a year at school, but better. It's easy. I actually understand it, and it's really cool.
Wow, that's
Awesome.
pretty awesome. So I think we're going to do 4 questions with Security Weekly because one is wildly inappropriate.
Can I replace the 5th one with something appropriate?
As long as it's appropriate,
It's appropriate.
absolutely. So when I get to question number 4, I'll go to you.
Yep.
Okay. So we play this game. It's called 5 Questions with Security Weekly. There's no right or wrong answer. Question number 4 is usually multiple choice, but I don't know what Larry has in
Multiple
store.
choice.
But I guarantee you that there are no right or wrong answers. So it's really
Okay.
easy. So 3 words to describe yourself.
Bubbly. My nickname was Bubbly Bianca in second grade.
That nickname shouldn't go away, by the way.
No, yeah, it's very appropriate.
Funny. I like to think I'm funny. And I like to think I'm quirky and just crazy in general.
Well, which is it, quirky or crazy?
We're going to hyphenate quirky,
Crazy.
crazy.
Quirky, crazy.
Quirky, crazy. That's it.
Crazy.
B, if you were a serial
Crazy.
killer, what would be the weapon of your choice?
Something that doesn't leave a mark, so people wouldn't know. Probably, since I do fencing, a sword, because I'm used to it.
If you wrote a book about yourself, what would the title be?
The Crazy Life of a Crazy Cat Lady. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it was funny. And then
Larry,
be a
Larry's
Yeah.
got question number 4.
Social media platform of choice.
Ooh, all of them, but
All of them,
mostly
okay.
Twitter. I'm
Okay.
mostly on Twitter.
Good.
Instagram is a little annoying sometimes.
Agreed.
Facebook is for old people. No offense.
I was thinking about this on the way over here. I'm like,
Spot
she's
on.
going to say Facebook is for old people.
Spot on, but Instagram is a little creepy. Like my son's on Instagram and we monitor his account and he gets creepy messages from people and stuff.
A lot of people on Instagram, they start messaging me, but all they say is hi. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you, and you're just starting off the conversation with hi, and I'm like, not
Delete.
responding. Delete.
Delete.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bia, choose 2 celebrities to be your parents.
Alive, dead, fictional, or otherwise.
Oh, this is...
And remember, your parents are
Your parents are
in the room.
Right there.
It's okay.
And
okay.
celebrity is a
Loose term.
is,
These are
is
your
a loose term.
Wait,
fictitious.
there's
These are
no wrong answer.
There's
There
no
are
wrong
no
answer?
wrong answers. It's
no wrong
fictitious
answer.
parents.
Okay, Grumpy Cat and Pusheen.
There you go.
There we go.
I mean, there was no hesitation there.
That has got
Once
to
she
be,
understood the rules, there was no.
that has got to be the best answer I've heard.
And the rules
this-
are there
in
are
the-
no rules in picking your parents.
In the 15 years we've been doing that, that's arguably the best answer I've heard.
I don't know who those characters are, but I was just commenting on
Grumpy
it.
Cat is a cat
we all know
that's
Grumpy
Oh my
Cat.
God.
Grumpy.
famous because it's just always grumpy. It's
Is that
born
the one
with
in the memes with the,
Yeah,
the one
girls
that's always
yelling?
like-
Okay. Yeah.
And then Pusheen
Tartar
is
sauce.
a
Recently
drawn
passed.
cat, right? With like little cartoons almost. And it's the opposite of Grumpy Cat. It's all like fun, bubbly. So yeah.
I think we need to bring Bia on as an advisor for all things like cultural and societal things that we don't understand, especially that I don't
Only
understand.
if she can get her energy level up.
Right. Well, Bia goes out saying you have a bright future in our field or not in our field. Whatever you decide to do, you're going to be great at it. So thank you for coming on the show. One last time, please plug your various websites and anything else that you want to plug. And I encourage our audience to support Bia because we're all really super impressed and grateful to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And so what are your websites again?
BeaScilab.com. BeaScilab is also Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, GirlsWhoHack.com, and Secure Open Vote. So Girls Who Hack, Secure Open Vote, BeaScilab. Boom.
You have more functioning websites than I do, which is just fantastic. Bia, again, thank you so much for coming here in studio and appearing on Pulse Security Weekly.
Thank you for having me.
And with that, we will take a short break and come back with our final segment for the show. Stay tuned.